Why hello boys and girls, looks like we're going to have another vlog with the Will. Now the one thing I want to talk about today is the law of attraction. What is it? Basically, positive thoughts turn into a positive outcome, a positive experience, or negative thoughts turn into negative outcome, negative experience. Now is that law really true? Well, let me tell you about a story about my life for the past 4 years, starting in 2014. 2014, I describe it as one of the lowest points of my life. I hit rock bottom, I nearly lost everything, hang around with the wrong crowds, eat mayonnaise sandwiches so I could pay my bills on time, and I lost a really good friend of mine in May of 2014. It just really got to a point in my life where I'm like, why am I still here? Why do I exist? And I was extremely depressed. I just didn't know what to do. Work a dead-end job, had nowhere to go. In September 2014, there was a UFC pay-per-view. It featured one guy. They had title fights in that pay-per-view, but it featured one particular person. And this one particular person actually fought a friend of mine back in 2013. My friend Marcus Brimage. He went over to, I believe, Sweden. And he fought this European that's making his debut. He's supposed to have his hype. And he was like 12-2 at the time. And I'm just hoping that my buddy would win. I was watching, it was on USC on Field TV. And the person that's making his debut against my friend, I'm pretty sure you guys heard of him. His name is Conor McGregor. So I'm like, I don't know who he is, but he talked a lot of junk and he has like this cocky attitude. And I'm just like hoping, my boy Marcus would beat him. So in the first round, Conor had really good movement. He was in and out, karate style, and he was tagging him a few times. And Marcus ate quite a few punches in the first round. And he actually pinned him near the cage, and Conor starts throwing bolo punches and hit him a couple of times and got him step back a little bit. And once he stepped back, that's when Conor went for the kill. Yeah, I threw a couple other punches, and next thing you know, Marcus is down. Conor swarmed him. Referee pulled him off, and that was it. And in that same fight, he had that infamous post-fight interview where he was like, "Hey Dana, 60 G's, baby." Fast forward to September 2014. They were featuring one particular person, of course, is Conor. They had a couple of fights too. Mighty Mouse Demetrius Johnson fought in that card, but they didn't feature it as much. It was really surrounding Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier. And of course, Conor does his pre-fight antics with Dustin Poirier trying to get in his head. He was like very confident. He was going to tell him he was going to knock him out in the first round. And sure enough, he did. After that fight, I was definitely in awe because he called his shot and he made it happen. Talked a lot of junk, but he backed it up. And I was like thinking to myself, man, wouldn't it be cool to be in his position? Now I've been watching like more of like Conor's interviews after that fight, and he was talking about the law of attraction, and I had to look it up to see what it's about. And at first I didn't believe it. I'm like, at first I think to myself like, okay, so if I think to myself that, yeah, I'm gonna get $1 million, I'm gonna get $1 million, and I'm just like, that's not gonna happen. But I decided to try to think that way just to see what happens. I really have nothing to lose because apparently I hit rock bottom, and the only direction I could really go from there is up, right? So I was sick of my job and working in retail, and I've been working retail for about 14 years. And I had to make a really tough decisions, and that's to leave FGC and to leave retail. I just didn't know where to go. So I had to talk to my father and see what he could do. So he was telling me about a new dealership that was opening up in Northlake. And he was telling me, he was like, I'll try to see if I can get you in. So I'm like, okay, cool. So after talking to management, he got me in as a parts specialist in that new dealership. And in 2 weeks, I'm going to be going down to the Del Rey dealership to train. So after talking to some guys, they said like, oh, you're going to work with this parts manager. He's not really a friendly person. He likes to joke around. And I'm like, well, okay, whatever. it is what it is. So they're already prepping me for what's going to happen in that dealership. So after 2 weeks, they said good luck, and they were happy that I took the positions, because if I wouldn't take the position, one of those guys have to work with him, and they didn't want to do that. So I guess to them, I came in at the right place at the right time. So regardless, I had this positive mindset, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna kill it up there, even though I didn't know anything about cars at the time. So after working in the Norfolk store, at first it was friendly, and I started noticing he likes to play jokes every now and then. And he's kept messing with me, and I'm a very serious guy, especially when it comes to work. When it comes to work, I'm all business. And there's times that he's playing practical jokes. He was getting other people involved to joke around with me, and I try to stay positive, and it hurts, because I'm trying to do my job, I'm trying to learn, and he's somewhat preventing me to do so. And I talk to my dad almost every day, and I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. And he says, like, take this as a learning experience, and once you learn a lot from that dealership, try to go to a different dealership. So that's what I did. Again, I tried to keep that positive thought in mind, regardless of the jokes that was happening to me. And he even got like his friends involved outside the dealership. They would call, and the one thing they would do is, I do my usual speech when I answer the phone, and they interrupt me mid-speech, and they said, "Let me speak to your manager." And I started noticing like numerous people have been doing it, so I assumed that like he was like getting like other friends involved outside the dealership. It was pretty bad, but again, I try to keep that positive mindset. And every time when I'm trying to ask a question, he always go ask the technicians or call the hotline. He barely helped me, so I was like learning on my own. And at the time, I didn't know anything about cars, so it was very difficult. At the same time, it was a new dealership, so it was a bit slow. So I can able to learn at my own speed. So after talking to some technicians and service writers, a couple of them have worked with my father before, so I already developed a good relationship with them. And they let me know that I should really get out and find a better place. And I'm like, where do I go? I'm still developing here. After working like about 7 months there, one of the technicians, he has a friend that brought his RX-7 in, and the ECU's messed up. And of course the ECU's, you can't buy it anywhere, you can't find it in a junkyard for an RX-7. So I asked my manager, like, is there any way we could replace it? And he goes, why don't you talk to your father? I'm like, okay, whatever, you're a great help. Talked to my father, and he said, well, there's used to be like a place where they rebuild stuff. He doesn't know where. So he goes, why don't you talk to this guy at this dealership? His name is Randy. And I'm like, okay, sure. So, I gave Randy a call, and I asked him, and he gave me a lecture about like he used to know a guy, but he passed away. And then afterwards, he was like, how you liking it over there? And I'm like, it's all right. I'm learning. And he asked me, he's like, you ever thought about jumping to the dark side? And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, why don't you come work for us? And I'm like, oh, can I get your information? Let's talk about it. So like we met up like on a Saturday, and we discussed some things, and he wanted to offer me more money just for me to jump ship. Never in my life had that happen to me. And I'm like, this is crazy. And I'm like, I couldn't believe it at first. And he was saying like he had someone that he worked with for many years at a dealership down in Del Rey, and also someone that he knows at Orlando. And he was telling me it's either one of those guys or you. So I'm like, I thought about it, and I talked to my father about it, and he suggests I should stay at the dealership I was in, just to learn more. But then I'm thinking to myself, I really don't want to lose this opportunity. I feel like I can do it. And he said, like, they're a very busy dealership. You think you can handle it? I said yes. With that positive mindset, I said yes, I could do it. So I abruptly quit working at the Northlake dealership, and I jumped ship to the dealership I'm in. There are a few adversity here and there. There are some bad seeds in there. There's people are very negative, but those that are negative no longer work there. And now I've been working there for about 2 years. I am a elite specialist. I'm going on my second year as elite parts specialist, and I believe after 3 years I could be eligible for a master parts specialist. And I'm doing really well there. People in the parts department are really cool. I just have a really good support of the service team in general. I'm just really happy there. Now everything has fallen into place in my life. Bought a Lexus IS 250F Sport. I'm going to buy a new house this year. I'm going to be traveling to multiple out-of-state trips. So I feel that the law of attraction does work. After my slump in 2014, I just kept a positive mindset, and with the positive mindset, it has helped me physically, spiritually, and mentally. Because with this positive mindset, I was eating a lot healthier. I had McDonald's in, I think, over 2 years. Barely any junk food. I've been working out a lot more. I've been a lot healthier than I was ever in my life. And spiritually, I feel great. I feel like I'm almost invincible in a way. So what do you guys think about this law of attraction? It has helped Conor McGregor, has helped myself. Do you guys think it's like a real thing, or is it like a placebo effect? Post your comments below. I want to read what you guys have to say about this law of attraction. That's it for my vlog today. I hope you guys enjoy it. As always, like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.